you want to know more about building a model railroad, why don't you stick around and watch this video and see how we did on my N-scale model railroad, the Sayre secondary. Hello everyone, Joe from Central Jersey Conrail and N-scale. Welcome back. So this video is the first video in a new playlist. I'm going to be calling it the conclusion. So what the conclusion playlist is going to be is that there's all these little projects that I got to go back and fix, and because I've just been bypassing over as construction has been progressing. You know, some examples would be the computer system underneath the helix. I had to replace that, so I got to go back and fix that up. The power panel, the UP5 panels all around the layout, I had to disconnect the LEDs from them when I put in the track occupancy detector. So, you know, just little nuances, little projects that I just got to go back and tighten up and clean up in preparation for wrapping it up. There's also some other things I want to, bigger things that I want to do, like curtains, the lighting in the layout room. There is a light off camera over here that's over my workbench. I never use it because I don't like it. It just casts shadows and stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to change that out to some track lighting to highlight certain areas that are dark on the layout. So, you know, those are the kind of projects that are going to be in the conclusion playlist. Going back and adding details, those are more examples. So that's what you can expect. So this video, the first video of this playlist, is going to be called Death of the Southern Secondary Staging. Yeah, that's quite a big title, but I think it pretty much tells you what's going to happen. So the design of the layout, let's just briefly touch on that. I know I've done it many times before, but so this point here is Toth. It represents where the two prototype secondary lines came together, the freehold secondary and the southern secondary. So when I was putting these lines together, I was kind of missing out on the traffic north of Toth that goes towards Red Bank, and I wanted to come up with a plan to kind of include that traffic to, you know, bolster the train size here on the layout. So I developed this plan where it was going to be an off-track staging down below, and that was where trains, we were going to generate that traffic from the northern portion to come down to Brown's Yard and switch out. So the plan kind of quickly grew out of control, and what the thought was in my mind was the train would originate out of Brown's Yard, come down, cut off on the hidden staging area, pull down in on a main line. Using magnetic uncouplers, the locomotive would uncouple, run around its train, and then do switching in the blind. I did a couple demo videos on it in the operation series. So that was the thought. So, you know, initially it worked. There was a little couple issues. We worked through it. I kind of thought I fixed them, and then after that it kind of just went downhill, and that's where the failed experiment began. So after a couple months of putting it all together and getting it running, the camera system worked perfect. In fact, that really spurred me on to start using those cameras more. The permanent magnetic uncouplers, you know, initially they worked. I was getting really good operations with Atlas couplers. Some micro trains were working properly, but then when I did the big conversion on the layout and went over to the micro trains low profile trucks and wheels, their couplers weren't uncoupling. So then that really just started the whole thing spinning out of control. Then I started running into issues with turnouts. When the locomotives would try to do the runaround in the blind, there would be derailments and shorts. So it quickly just turned into nothing. It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work at all. So since my last operation session over the last 2 years, it's kind of just been in my back of my mind that I got to come up with a plan and fix this, because it's just not going to work. And when I put scenery over top of it, that's going to further complicate the situation, because you'll never be able to get in there. You know, we kind of just nursed it along because I was able to reach over the top and kind of, you know, fix the issue. But, you know, the idea came back to the forefront when last video I told you I was going to get started on Tom's River at Ciba-Geigy, and then I started saying, well, if I'm going to do Ciba-Geigy, I got to do scenery up through Lakehurst so that it all kind of supports itself and makes sense. And then I realized, oh gosh, when I do that, I'm going to cover the staging area for the southern secondary. So now I really got to get back and figure out what I'm going to do with this monster that's underneath the layout. So one night, I do a lot of great thinking right before I go to sleep. I was just laying there scrolling through my Facebook and stuff, and I was looking at it, and I thought, wait a minute, why don't we just employ the principle of KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. So I said, you know what? For what it's worth, the train is there just to bring extra cars to the yard and bring extra cars out of the yard. That's it. We're not doing any switching. We don't have to worry about order and any of that stuff. So I said, why don't I just stage a train underneath a certain length, run it down to Brown's yard, drop those cars, get the other cars, bring it down, run it locomotive first down into the area, and park it. And that'll just do what it needs to do, and that is move more cars. So, and then after we operate, we can back the train back up, turn it around, move it back down for the next cycle. So there's no reason to be doing that. Or if the operator during the operating session wants to get froggy and give it a shot, go ahead and run around his train here and back it down. So I said that would be so much simpler. So I had to get that done now. It had to be done now because I'm pushing forward with scenery. Right now I'm filming this. The Ciba-Geigy is all mocked up. Scenery's in. I got cardboard webbing up to the back by Glidden here. And so I got to get this done because I'm pushing forward and progress is moving very quickly. Okay, there you go. So that's the whole explanation of what this video is about. And now I'm going to cut you over to the video. It's probably not going to be that long, maybe about 10 minutes. And it's going to show you how I rip it out, what I do, and how it looks when it works. All right, so sit back, watch it, enjoy it, and I'll talk to you afterwards. Okay, so there you go. That's how we did it. So you know what? Pretty happy with the way it turned out. It serves its purpose, and it's very simple. And there's another little added bonus that happened to this because train size was limited on the Southern Secondary staging to 4 cars, partly because of the runaround. The size of the runaround was so short that you could only do 4 cars to get your locomotive to run around. Now I can fit, theoretically up to 6 or 8 cars. The only catch to that is going to be the grade underneath Lakewood as it comes up. There's kind of a steeper grade. I would say it's close to like a 3%. So if I'm going to pull 8 cars out, I'm going to need 2 locomotives on it. So, but there's plenty of room to put 2 locomotives and 8 cars down there now. So I actually might work a lot better than my original design. So next video here for this conclusion playlist. Going to be going over to Sayreville to do detail work. Vehicles, people, junk, a little bit of weathering, touch-up weathering, and get that all done. So this conclusion playlist, it's not going to take place of my regular monthly video. It's not going to be an extra video. It's just going to be like 1 month instead of me doing, a construction video. It's just going to be a conclusion video. I don't think they're going to be as short as this video. They might be a little longer, but yeah, it's just a way for me to categorize my videos as we start winding down here because I was like, oh, it's still going to take a long time to do this, all this work. No, I'm moving along. It's actually, I'm having so much fun. I got my time frame that I get my modeling in every day, and everybody's back to work. Everybody's back to school. This whole pandemic thing, whatever you want to call it, is kind of coming to a close. So I'm getting back to my regular routine. So yeah, as I'm filming this here in the beginning of February, getting ready actually to shoot the video for Ciba-Geigy, and this is going to be moving along quickly because Lakehurst, as I was putting the scenery in, Lakehurst, there's not much to do. It's all going to be, except for the main road that goes through the middle of Lakehurst that crosses the line, there's not many structures in that area there. The Glidden Sand Pit, not many structures because they did all their work with wheel loaders and dump trucks and stuff. And Lakehurst, there's nothing there either. It's just going to be trees. So that I'm going to be able to jump on and get done fairly quickly, and then back over to Freehold. And yeah, it's going to be a lot quicker than I'm expecting, seeing how I'm moving along already. And then once we finish these areas, I got to go back and do all those little projects I was talking about before. So that's what this kind of playlist is going to be for. All right, so there you go. That's all I have for you this time on Central Jersey Conrail and N-Scale. I hope you enjoyed the video. Post up your comments, and don't forget to hit the bell for the notifications. If you're seeing this video and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel because I'd love to have you following along. And otherwise, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.